Hey y'all, today we're going to be talking about a crash course on 9/11, the political, social, and economic effects. So for the political, we're going to talk about the war on terrorism. For the social, we're going to talk about the Boston Marathon bombing. For the economic, we're going to talk about the 2001 recession. Here we go. So for the first political event, President Bush declared a national war on terrorism. This is really important because beforehand, not much had been going on for terrorism, and now there's a major war going on for it. The second major event is President Bush sends troops to Afghanistan. This is very important because beforehand, there was no troops in Afghanistan really, and then afterwards there was a large amount of the army stationed in Afghanistan to fight the terrorism. For the third, we're talking about the war in Iraq. This occurred because of 9/11 and during the war on terrorism, and this is important because before there was no war in Iraq, and after there was a major war in Iraq, and there still is some war going on in Iraq. We still see today. It's a very relevant topic still. Next is the U.S. Patriot Act. That was passed because they needed resources to fight the terrorists, and this is very important because it gave us the necessary resources to take out the terrorists and not having to fight them on our homeland. Next one we got is the NSA and FBI became very crucial. They became very crucial because they are very good at gathering intelligence and finding strongholds. And beforehand, they hadn't really been known organizations, but after 9/11, they were very well known. So down here we have an image. This is the Al Qaeda terrorist group, and in the front we have their leader here. And this is a very good image because it shows who the U.S. was trying to attack, and it shows a very good historical context piece right there. All right. Next up, we got the Boston Marathon bombing. So the bombs exploded 12 seconds apart before 9/11. There were not many bombs used. Bombing was very not relevant. And then after 9/11, bombings became actually quite frequent, which is not very good. The pressure cooker bombs were used. So before 9/11, bombs were just kind of like grenades and such. And afterwards, they became very elaborate, such as pressure cooker bombs, which is really meant to kill people, just harm them. And then I don't know how to pronounce that. Tsarnaev brothers were the ones responsible for the bombings. And then before 9/11, not many domestic attacks were held by foreigners, but after 9/11, a lot of, especially Islamic and Middle Eastern people, decided to attack the U.S. Next, a manhunt occurred shortly after for the brothers. And then this is important because before there weren't many large-scale manhunts, but afterwards there were not as many, not a ton, but there were still pretty frequent large-scale manhunts. And the bombs were loaded with nails and pellets. This is important because normally they're explosives and they're meant to kill people, like before 9/11, but after they were just meant to harm people and just cause as much damage as physically possible. And then down here we have that's what a pressure cooker bomb looks like. It's essentially just a pressure cooker with nails meant to explode and just throw shrapnel everywhere. All right. Next up, we have the recession. The recession lasted 8 months. This is very important because this is a very big recession. This is the biggest one to date before the 2008 recession. And after 9/11, the 2008. During the fourth quarter, the economy recovered, which is very good. It got a lot of Americans jobs. All right, major tax cuts were implemented at the end of the recession to try to combat the inflation, try to help cut down all the costs of everything. And then the Fed lowered rates to combat the social inflation. This is important because it gave Americans their money back and gave them a lot of job opportunities. And then after the recession, the U.S. immediately entered an expansion, and then a boom again. This is very important because it helped a lot of Americans get jobs and a lot of Americans recover from this hard recession. And then right here, I have the GDP chart for 1999 to 2001. As you can see, 1999 to early 2000 was doing pretty well, and then it just crashed in 2001. And that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you.